Oh, already yawning again. See if this works. Think it's working. Hello. Welcome to Phone Stream 2 to avoid another power outage. As you can see, I'm in a different section of my house, which I'm normally not in video wise. Uh, mm, Guest starring Little Brother. I've been out of it a few days for certain mental related implosion reasons. So I started uploading on my other channel, uh, anime movie show channel. Most recent upload was last night. I will start uploading more consistently there. Hmm. House is in too bad shape. I've got there's stuff in here. I mean, you can kind of looks kind of all like that, but there's 2 to 3 houses full of stuff all in the house due to a variety of things that have taken place over the past 2 years. No longer than that, 3, 4 years. Especially my room. My room looks horrible. Yeah, I saw the Pistons lost. I don't. Yeah, we're not in the tournament anymore. We don't think so. So that sucks. Back to back losses on 2 games that we shouldn't have lost. Most important games to win, and we choose to lose them. When it matters most, it's like we pulled a Detroit Lions. The most important things that we should be doing, the games that matter, chief among them, find a way to lose, mess up. I didn't watch it though last night, but I saw highlights. I saw beef stew transform into mule stew once again. I do not care for him. It's nice to have an enforcer on the team, but you can be an enforcer, not be an asshole. Happy Thanksgiving as well to everyone. Yes, to Who Day Nation. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Julian, how the Raptors keep winning. I don't know. I don't know what they got going on. They got vibranium in their fossils up there in Raptorville. Laptop wasn't the camera is bad, exceedingly bad, so I didn't want to use that. I'm not technologically prepared for certain things like that. Yeah, it looks horrible, so I didn't want to use that one. I would just be streaming through console, but I wanted to still test and see how this does in comparison to that, because for whatever reason people have been saying they haven't gotten uh notifications, or they don't get notified when I stream through there. I don't understand. I don't get it. If something happens with this though, then maybe I'll try that up there, but I'm not gonna do this frequently. Streaming like this will be sometimes thing. I just need to get a better streaming setup. Thanks a lot, Who Day Nation. Thanks, Commissioner, for all your streams and videos. Always fire. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. I just uploaded a YouTube short today. You should check that out. Or any of you who are interested. Uh, no Civ. Only just because I want to see how streaming on the phone goes in comparison, as I get a message from PlayStation. I don't know why. Otherwise, I'll just go back to on system doing stuff. I'm just seeing comparison between this and that. I may even just as in a little bit, I may just transition to that one. Is it Moser? I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love your takes on basketball, but I'm mainly here for them tears since I'm a hater. So not seeing you breaking down mentally is kind of a letdown. I've had there have been people I've been sub to that I have enjoyed copious amounts of tears, so I can't entirely blame you. I've indulged in the same. So pleasure having you watch. Period. Yeah, the good times have been rolling for the Pistons, so we don't indulge in that, whatever that unmentionable season was that we don't talk about here. To come back so quickly from that, I was expecting another year, probably like not as bad as that one, but something in the realm of that. And then maybe the year after that, we would begin to see a change. No one, I don't think anyone could have expected, even those who specialize in their understanding of the game, the ins and outs of it. I don't think anyone could have expected us to be in the playoffs the very next season. If I had said that, I would have been labeled a madman, even more so than I already am. Hugh Givney, is it that? Apologies if I'm mispronouncing anyone's name. Thank you, thank you. Gay YouTuber. Maybe you mean the original definition of gay. It's like Don, we now are gay apparel in the Christmas song, so we're happy, we're joyous. Yeah, yeah, that. But I'm none of those things, so that doesn't make sense either. What are you saying? Dynamo, I love you even though you're gay. Doja exists. How could you ever label me as such? You forget yourself, sir. You sorely forget yourself. Not gonna lie, that turnaround was totally unexpected. I'm absolutely impressed. Yeah, thank you, thank you. It's snowing outside right now. Oh, is that smoke detect? Yes, it is. Say, I wouldn't have noticed it if you didn't say anything. And I swear that thing beeps when I walk by. When I'm directly underneath it, it beeps. Irritates me. I need to get around. I don't even know if we have batteries. But that should be a New Year's resolution. I won't go into next year with this same smoke detector doing that. That's how we know you're truly black. Ah, ah. Yes, have been hearing that's sort of it's like a hallmark type of thing that goes with that. And then now I can't unhear it whenever I see other people's videos or skits or something. And then I say like, oh, it's black, black, black. Do you stream basketball games? As long as they aren't 2K, I don't indulge in that anymore, and I have no plans to ever buy that game again unless there is a fundamental shift. No more. Tired of that. Not worth getting. Unless I get it for free. I get it for free, or and not, even then, I mean, it would have to be for free because spending any money towards that, even having it for free, is still an issue and problem because the game will sometimes just be unnecessarily large. So it takes up a lot of space. And downloading something like that to play one mode occasionally for people to watch is just not. Friends and I were thinking of streaming, or I play Rocket League because I really enjoy Rocket League. It's been a long time. We used to play Rocket League a lot. That's a game worth playing. That's a quality game. Needs to stream live games. I do. When I do stream, people don't get the notification. I've been streaming consistently now, almost 2 months, but people don't get the notification when I do it. How tall are you, Commish? I am 5'10". Never really do. One time in my life, as I said previous stream, I thought about or wanted to be taller, but it was only due to me wanting to be a basketball player at the time. But that was when I was uh it was like 5, 6, 7, 8. Shouldn't have said those two numbers together. Little brother come in here and he'll just start spamming it if he hears me. I accidentally almost pressed something. Jada Marketer. Yo, I discovered you about a month ago and I binged every video. Weird. The only two sports YouTubers I watch are you and Kofi, both Pistons fans. Yes, I've heard. Thank you. Appreciate you very much for watching the both of us. Thank you. Roswell. Man, you tall. Not really. Average height, I think, in America is 5'9". So it's like fairly average height, really. At least in the West, that's something that's like that. Now, if you look at dating and just how they be doing the balloon pop stuff and just the most extreme, the worst parts of what people say on just internet when it comes to stuff like that. They try to farm negativity content. Anything under 6 feet, you're considered not a real man if you listen to those types. Someone mentioned Jaden Ivey. Yeah, I have to talk about him. Yeah, I expected him to not play too good coming back after almost an entire season. So it's gonna be rust. Got to get himself acclimated again. because of him, I think next game he may be out because they're still reevaluating some things. It makes the job easier for JB Bickerstaff and not having to uh, be the mean person or do something that could be somewhat contentious. Jaden Ivey needs to go the G League. Dude is a cone on defense. I give him a little bit. There have been. I won't entirely disagree. Even when he was healthy, there were some game to game. There's some things that's like, but now that he's been out for as long as he's been, injury and just being rusty, I'll just wait. I'll save that. But come, I say like around trade deadline or a little bit after that, then have to start telling it like it is really and just pulling no punches. But as I said previously, if because he hasn't been in talks for a new contract and they haven't really, both he and Duran, but Duran, it should be you make that deal in your sleep. What Duran is doing, he's invaluable. As I said, he should be placed on untouchable. Both he and Cade, and you got some others who are coming into their own. Hojon, if I'm pronouncing that right. I told someone earlier, and they asked us 5'10". We were talking about, or the subject of height came up last stream. I think it was last stream. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, before it got cut off by stuff, would you rather be a little person or would you rather be an extremely tall person? You encounter problems in both ways, and life is difficult in both areas. But if I had to choose, I would still choose an abnormally tall person that would require crutches in order to go places. So my is it Robert Wadlow? If I'm probably mispronouncing his name, but I remember he was I think 8'11", tallest person in history, documented in history. I would rather be that than be the smallest person in history because there's too many issues and problems you encounter when you're that little. There's too many things that can tear you up and ruin your life, and you're everybody's prey almost. You get household pets, they become your worst nightmare. And not because they can tear things up, but they can tear you up as bad as they tear up furniture. Anything, too many things can hurt you. Simply going from one room to another is a flight risk. Yeah, that's a dwarfism or gigantism. Yeah, I would. But if one does find themselves in or just adjacent to dwarfism, you still live longer. You would live significantly longer than somebody with gigantism, but I don't really know if I'd be willing to live that long at that specific frame of view or experience. Thank you, Shotgun Driver, for your help and support. Appreciate you for joining in. Roswell, I'm 5'1" and you are 100% correct. I don't recommend being short. There was someone in the last stream, he's LeBron's height. And or he said that. I mean, we'll never really know. Like people say some over the internet, you don't really know how tall. But if that is indeed his height, I said it must be irritating because people, you can imagine yourself being a certain height and it's cool to you, until you live that every single day, and it can sometimes be annoying because there'll be constantly people talking about, you play basketball, you play basketball, you play basketball, you should be in the NBA, you should be in the NBA, just every single, I say that. And LeBron height individual, there's no way this man can walk to his mailbox without somebody commenting on his height. He just sticks out. And day-to-day things, you know, he'd have to have certain things probably outfitted, and it's just, life becomes a little bit complicated. I never cared to be that tall like that outside of when I was because, but then when I was little, you don't really take into account or know too much about height parameters and things like that. So you just like whatever the height of an NBA player is, I would want to be that because I want to be an NBA player, but that can range drastically. But if I really knew that, so it's like a majority of my life outside of a few years, I've never wanted to be no 6'5", 6'7", 6'8". It's unnecessary. I don't need that. It's like, what are you doing that tall for no reason? And then if you aren't in the NBA, you'll just be constantly, so why aren't you in the NBA? Because your average person just assumes height with NBA, and that's all it really needs, not taking into account skill. You got to actually know how to put the ball in the basket. You have to have different things in your toolkit. Jutsu's, is it Jutsu's Phillips, the cartoon? Aloha to you as well. Oh yeah, yeah. How's the weather up there? And you spat out. The person said it's raining. Ah, wait a second. Wait. Ow. Somebody come back. Oh, I gotta go up here now. Ow. Going up. Ow. Turn this on. Go into the content room. Oh, it's better lighting in here, though. Yeah, I'm not. That's probably as much of a house tour as you'll get, because my house is not tourable the way it looks. It's like 2 to 3 houses full of stuff in here because a bunch of things. Moving things from one house and getting practically kicked out of another and having to move a bunch of things under duress. Terrible summer that was last summer. Horrible. Oh, just a second. One moment. Chandler. All right, I've returned with a hat because I briefly went outside Let's say, wait, how long, in your opinion, does Jokic need to play at this level for asking is he better than LeBron? Jokic can play indefinitely for a good amount of time. Uh, I'd say another 5 straight years, it would be in respect to a LeBron and just stuff that has already been established. Another 5 years. Yeah. Chips, especially, very important. Because I hate it when people do that with the just Jordan and LeBron and a bunch of other players. We want to go and put one player higher than another one with less championships and less resume. Can't do that. Yeah, Jokic would have to win. He gets a second ring, he moves up drastically. But then he gets a third ring. Then if you hear people start talking about he's top 8 or top 5 with 3 rings, I could say, yeah, understandable. It's like you can at least make an argument to that. But that's given he's playing like he's playing or something close to it for the next few years and he racks up 2 championships. Biases aside, I don't think Jokic is surpassing LeBron. If he if he had, because it's just the team surrounding him. I know the Nuggets, they look better this season. But if Jokic were in like Oklahoma City Thunder, if he was on Oklahoma, for example, then I would feel more confident in his ability to at least knock on the door of that discussion because of how beautifully built OKC is and the draft picks. But these Nuggets, oh, please. I hate, I hate sneezing. I hate it. Just do it. Stop it with this anticipation, with this grand interest. Just do it and be done and go away. But if he was somewhere like OKC, then yeah, I don't much put faith in the Nuggets organization to keep him in a on a elite team with stars befitting him. Is Jokic already better than Shaq? I would say in one category when it comes to MVPs, yeah. If we want to just talk skills and stuff right now, skill wise, in comparison to, yeah, there's things that Jokic does that Shaq wasn't even dreaming of doing. But I would feel Jokic has to get another ring before that conversation can truly be had in respect to Shaq, who has 4, and 3 of which he achieved by being dominant like no other player we've ever seen, to where there was really no answer for him. And there hasn't really been an answer for Jokic, but everybody needs somebody. if you had Jokic paired alongside somebody who is in the realm of an MVP esque type or a top 15, 20 player, then everything I think night and day would change. But that's with almost every player in NBA history. Everybody needs someone. You need, I think the key to success has always just been two. You just need two people. You need two all stars, basically. And then of the two, one has to be clear cutting away. You don't really need anything more than that. You just need two people in depth. Oh my God, stupid nose. Ah, man. Here's nonsense makes the NBA watchable. Key Keeman and Embiid for skillful bigs. Unfortunately, Embiid broke down due to excessive flopping. Yes. Oh man. Oh, my nose bothering me. Just a second.
I can't go outside.
Why?
No.
Well, why not?
I wasn't wearing the proper clothes. I'm upstairs with Bebe. Hold on.
Well, just put some on. Sorry, I'm back again with some tissue. Right. Nose is betraying you. It betrays me every stream for some reason. Just like the power betrays me every stream. YouTube betrays me. Where is Giannis on the all-time power forward list? Same. It's kind of Giannis is up there now, but he is kind of a bit of a similar situation for him. Like Jokic, if he were to get a second ring, then he vaults a ton of people, or he makes one big leapfrog over some players. But I'd say, because you got Tim Duncan at one. You got some others, and then if somebody wanted to make, I could see Giannis being top five right now, or on the outskirts of that, at the very least. Giannis unable to play in the playoffs these past few years. Yeah, that's it's very unfortunate. Year in and year out, at the same time, the most crucial time in the NBA, and that happens. Uh, Someone said Duncan at one, Dirk two, Giannis three, KG four. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. You could make the argument that Giannis is past Dirk at this point, but then that would put Giannis at 2. Hmm. That's difficult. Dirk top 6 scorer. Yeah. Hmm. That's but then it's like Dirk is a top set scorer, but the amount of MVPs Giannis has won. uh, okay, it's it's like a give and take. Dirk's championship is one of the best ever. Yeah, that's easily one of the most difficult championship runs. He had to go through a super powered gauntlet to get where he was and then go up against the heavily favored Heat. So yeah, and mostly it just being him that's the full-on star with a great complementary team, but there wasn't someone that was really relative to Dirk on that squad. Chevy Flo. Hope I'm saying it correctly. Yes, it is me in the flesh or in the digital flesh, as you can see. Do you feel that all these injuries come from us expecting giants to move like cats while forgetting they're still giants? I think so. That's a great point. Is it Kamil Gorski? The the bigs being expected to move as much as they do now, playing out of position and be tasked with assignments that the majority of NBA history they've never been given for obvious reasons. It's like the game back then understood that the bigger the player, it's like the slower they are. So we're not gonna have you go out here and guard this because that would be a mismatch against you. Now the NBA with this positionless basketball, it's all great and you can say it evolves the game, but at the same time, the wear and tear that's accumulated with having to keep up with the pace and the quick movements. Talked about this last stream due to the amount of injuries increasing. Lots of different things to take into account as well as the pace of the game. So you can make an argument and a solid point like one you just made and say that they're not supposed to be doing this. They shouldn't be doing this. It's bad enough that we have the smaller heighted players are given their position, they're accumulating injuries more, it seems, than ever before. Everybody is more injured now than at any point in NBA history. But I also keep bringing up how nutrition, technology, health, and wellness is also better than it's ever been, but it doesn't seem to co-align with that. It would make sense in my head, at least, in just layman's terms, because I'm not specialized in that field, that the game evolves, but then let's say medicine, health, and wellness is still back in the 1980s. Then you could say, okay, yeah, there's something here, but it's not. But you have freezing tanks and all of these other things afforded to players, yet we have more injuries than ever. Is it conditioning? Is it players just not getting enough reps? Is it too much practice? There's a lot of things to consider. Do you think decreasing the amount of games could decrease injuries? Silent G says it's really heading in that direction, and I don't like that. I don't want to just say should I don't want it to happen, but it seems like that will end up being something that comes to pass, that the season just gets shortened. The way the scheduling is too, the scheduling needs to be better. The scheduling is supposed to be better. That's something else that is better than it's ever been. If we just go by NBA history and what has been established as precedent. But just using the Pistons as an example, because I've been looking at the Pistons schedule, and of course, because it's my team and all that, there was a period that was about maybe 2 weeks ago or so. It seemed like we were playing every single day, and the amount of back to backs were just it's like they go out of their way to give the teams they don't care about the most back to backs, even though now I think the 76ers have the most back to backs in the NBA, or most scheduled back to backs. Ha! But the Pistons are always somewhere in the top 5. And in the past 2 seasons, we've been, if not number 3 or 2 or 1, something like that, which is why we had so many injuries. Because I feel like we would play on a Monday and then play Tuesday, don't play Wednesday, and then play Thursday and Friday. And then you have just like maybe Saturdays off, then Sunday. It's like now you're playing multiple times, and then a lot of these games were going into overtime. So then it's like, God, man, it's like we play, and next thing you know, I'm missing games left and right. I was like, oh, we played tonight. I was like, when are we not playing? It felt like Golden State too. Like the Warriors are playing almost every single day, at least when the season first started. That needs to be better. Though I do see maybe within the next 10 years, I can very much see them shortening the season by 10 games. But if you're going to shorten the season, schedule better. And if you shorten the season, they shouldn't get paid the same amount, because that there's a lot of entitlement and things that go on. So they'll be demanding the same amount of money for less games. And there'll be some players that will still have trouble in playing most games of the season. So instead of the 65 game rule, maybe it'll be something to like a 55 game rule. They'll lower it down to that or something. And there'll still be a problem with that, because it's just there's too many things that aren't done properly NBA wise when it comes to punishment and ramifications for doing bad things over and over, being an idiot. That Silent G said, I don't think it will make a difference. I don't really think it'll make a difference either, but I see it happening. I see it, the likelihood of it happening to be high, unfortunately. I vote for a commission to be the NBA commissioner. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that. I would clean that league up something fierce. Although my true passions and what I really want to do has nothing to do with NBA. I do not care to go into Stephen A. Smith territory or go anything in that anywhere near that type of field or be something associated with ESPN and all that, because they too many creative things going on, and it's just not what I really want to do. Is life over for Lions fans? Bunch of others done wrote us off already, but there's some things that we don't do properly. What I was thinking of making a Lions video, like Dan Gamble and Jared Goff. I have issues and grievances with the both of them for these past few weeks. Our defense as well with some things there, but between the both of them, I could see after this season, if there isn't tremendous headway gained in progress, I can see the front office thinking about either parting ways with Dan Campbell or Jared Goff. Because 3 times, it's like 3 chances. And there's a season or two, like that one with San Francisco. We shouldn't have won that. You let them come back in the second half. There's no excuse for that. Foolish. And then to be utterly mopped by the Commanders. Who even is that? The Washington Commanders. You don't see that horrendous flop from Hartenstein. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. I've been out of it. I haven't really been watching any games the past few days dealing with stuff. So in the meantime, I made content for the other channel. Night of Non-Shoe. Sup, Commish? Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you had one great one yourself. Oh my God. You could hear my brother too clearly. There's nowhere to go in this house to really make or do anything outside of my room and this room. But then you can still hear too much through the walls and all that. It's honestly one of the worst flops on modern NBA. Ooh, is that bad? I gotta see that. I gotta check that out. Need to soundproof those walls. Yeah, someone suggested getting some stuff. I gotta look into that and get that. Maybe that can work, because this is. Oh, we got Wang Lee here. Wang Lee Fu. He says, "What it do, Fu?" Oh, he's living up to his name. Thank you. Was waiting for a commish crash out video after the Magic Pistons game. Yeah, I didn't watch it outside of just, I saw a little bit of a highlight, or technically a low light, if you could call it that. Mule stew. Just paid Golf. If they part ways with either, it's a rebuild for 20 years. I'm seeing people type on ESPN's YouTube channel and uh, some Twitter thing saying how Lions 2 or 3 year window is over. Commish only gets one haircut per season. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Last time I got one was stupid. Damn. Last time I got one was for 50,000. 50,000 subs. It's too loud. Oh my goodness.
I thought I closed it.
Oh my god. Every day is Mule Stew going to be on your ops list soon? He I mean he would probably crack maybe top 10 or something. I hate having a player who's on my team be in the top 10, but I could see if he isn't already there, I'd have to reevaluate it. Maybe I'll make a community post of who's there. Uh, but he would have to do a lot to be in the top five. Most of the people that's from even probably number 6 to number 8 or number 9 have a laundry list of baggage or something that you can follow. For 100,000, you dye your hair like Dennis Rodman. So I wouldn't mind doing that. I would be down for that. That would be a monumentous occasion, deserving of such a display. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I still might just give people options to vote on something if I decide to do that. But I talk about it as if it's like right there. But how things have been going, that'll probably be, if I'm being conservative with just how YouTube has been for me, then I'll say like this time next year, and then still probably be like 10,000 away with just stuff how things have been. So 1 second. Need tissue. I did already talk about the game against Orlando. I didn't watch it. I only saw 1 or 2 clips. I've just been making content for the other channel in the meantime, really. Have not been doing too well. Usually, like, kind of worse than usual. That affects my output. So as I'm trying to reconfigure, then I make content for the other channel just because it's like that'll reset some things for me. Love you as well, Samuel Dang. Thank you for stopping by this fine evening. It was evening for me anyway. Well, I've been catching up on the Darth Mule lore, who are hilarious. Thanks a lot. Thank you. I guess you're rather new here. Is it Vire or Veer? Veer. Do you like Dragon Ball Super? I gotta refrain myself from going into a 20-minute rant about that. I do not like Super. I despise Super. I loathe Super. When I get to making a video about that, I made a video a few years ago on my original channel, but that channel has been died by me mostly because I don't use it no more because I got an especially too much trouble with YouTube on that channel. They just didn't like me over there. They like me a lot better here, but I still get in trouble. But yeah, I'll be making a updated version of my hate for Super on that other channel. Do not want that coming back. They can keep that. What was that? Any movies you watched lately? Oh, how ironic that you've asked. I saw Zootopia 2 with my little brother yesterday. It was pretty good. Wasn't as good as the first one, but as far as sequels go for movies that I didn't really think needed one, I wouldn't put Zootopia in the category of absolutely not for sequels, but I'd say it's kind of in the middle. It can kind of go either way. It's like, this is good, but then I see at the end there's going to be a third one where I'm like, okay, now it's kind of like it was pretty. It was enjoyable. There were a few things in there that I was like, huh. Have you seen why Boost Saga sucks? If not, a live reaction would be fun. Boost Saga sucks. No, I don't believe I've seen that. Dragon Ball now trying to sell us figurines with different hairstyles and colors is dumbed down. There's a Super Saiyan form or some sort of power up for every color in the crayon box, with the exception of two or three colors. They just ran out of the whole box of colors. I'm tired of it. And every form is as useless and redundant as the last. He's becoming the next Star Wars. I gotta think about who I Star Wars is in a worse position than Dragon Ball. So I'm actually more angry with Star Wars. It's just at least Dragon Ball is somewhat salvageable, and there's still things that it does that it's always going to resonate with the audience in a certain way, despite the late great Toriyama. That was I still can't believe he's gone. Star Wars, however, that thing is burnt to high heaven. Yeah, Invincible is the new Dragon Ball. Hope that that's a good point, actually. Yeah, I would somewhat agree with that. I do very much enjoy Invincible too. And Invincible is everything Dragon Ball now wishes that it was. Better writing, better characters, a plot that makes sense. Toriyama is the GOAT that he is. Star Wars prequels deserve an apology. Not really. It got they kind of got hated on a little bit. Certain aspects of the prequels got hated on a little bit when it comes to they're oh my god, so annoying. He's so loud. You like snow bunnies. It's not just I'm loving of all nationalities and diverse groups, but I still insist upon one day finding or whoever that person is that I would be married to. I would prefer it to be a black woman, but I wouldn't deny something that's a sure thing, or something that have a lot of chemistry with someone, but they don't happen to be African American. I'm not gonna say, oh no, she's not this, so I can't. So yeah. What the hell? Why is this in every stream? There's some in my eye. Why? That's one of the worst things ever in this life, having some in your eye. Think it's sustainable for Pistons to continue on with Cade basically doing everything while he's on the bench. They're lost. God forbid he's injured. Could they keep it going? I think it's him. They need someone else, another trade or something. I think of having someone so where he's not the source of all offense for the team. They have scoring like Danish Jenkins and some others, but they need another sure thing to where it's not all just him, all relied upon just him. You got something about now. I think Star Wars A New Hope is the greatest blockbuster of all time, full of adventure, fun, and constant F moments. Revenge of the Sith is amazing. Versus operous tone and tragedy. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith, that's easily the best film of the prequels. A New Hope, greatest blockbuster of all time. There's an argument to be made from that. And I grew up loving Star Wars. I have a Millennium Falcon in there. Full on Millennium Falcon that they haven't they don't even sell anymore really, but I think yeah, it was like a 2009 or 2010 edition that got gifted to me by mom had bought it for me. That's one of my favorite ships. If not, yeah, that is my favorite ship in fiction. Greatest blockbuster of all time. But if it were, there's numerous ways in which I could answer that. It depends on what one is. What do you seek in a blockbuster, and what do you define as the preeminent blockbuster? If you want to be classical and cultural, one could say any of the original trilogies of the Star Wars movies. I mean, particularly A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back. Or if you want to be even more culturally inclined, you could say Jaws, because that kind of set the stage for blockbusters and modern cinema. Or if you just want to go by strictly numbers, impact, and you may have some recency bias, then you could say Infinity War. I wouldn't say Endgame because in Endgame is just following through on what's already been established with Infinity War. But I remember when Infinity War came out, that was something. Terminator 2, I can also see that. Oh, Velvet, thank you for joining us. Oh, Lord of the Raw, yeah. Lord of the Rings too. Quality wise too, that knocks a lot of most of anything Marvel's ever done. Lord of the Rings stomps on that. Would you call Titanic a blockbuster? It's kind of in the traditional sense. I wouldn't call Titanic one. Not gonna say no, but mm, it is considered. I've never considered Titanic a blockbuster. Did Titanic come out during the summer? Was I mean, it's not like summer is limited to, but that is blockbuster season. I've never thought of Titanic as a blockbuster though. It just kind of became one in a way, but I don't know. What is the best TV show in your opinion? Hmm. That's difficult too for me to think about. Hmm. I will to make things easy on myself. I would put somewhere in the top 10. I put Breaking Bad up there. I only recently saw Breaking Bad about a year ago now or two. For whatever reason, I went the longest all these years without watching it because I just it's sometimes when people tell you to keep watching something or tell you to, oh, you got to watch this, you got to see that, and then you just kind of don't because sometimes you think people's opinions are just rooted in casual allure. So you just kind of didn't get to it. And then I kept hearing that in the same conversations as Game of Thrones, which I haven't watched, Walking Dead, which I haven't watched. It's always those three. But then I never heard of anyone saying bad things about an ending of Breaking Bad ever. All these other shows that they started out great, but then the ending is horrible. I almost get spoiled from the ending, even though I haven't seen the show. I keep hearing people say how bad this ending is for that. Then it kind of steers me from watching it even more than I already was kind of steered away from it. But never heard anything bad from Breaking Bad. Anything bad from Breaking Bad. But then I watch it and I was like, they were not exaggerating. This show is damn good. And then Better Call Saul is somehow relative to how good Breaking Bad is. The only thing you'll look, oh, you could, is he that loud to where people can hear him? Is he that distinct that you can hear him in the background? Better Call Saul is almost my favorite show ever until the finale. Oh, you didn't like the finale? I really, I thought it was appropriate. I thought it was great. Slower pace and things, of course, but I went into Better Call Saul thinking too much about Breaking Bad, which kind of segmented me from fully getting into it as quick as I normally would, something that I'm very interested in watching. It wasn't until episode 6 or episode 7 of the first season that I fully got on board and was binging it, where I binged the hell out of Better Call Saul after that. Because I was still thinking too much about Breaking Bad. But going into that, because sometimes with a prequel or something in the universe of said show, if you think too much about the original, you come in with expectations that don't necessarily have to be met or engaged with in the same way because we're doing something different here. I already set the precedent. That over there was the attention grabber. You compare Better Call Saul first episode to Breaking Bad's first episode, it's a night and day kind of contrast, but that's because Breaking Bad had an assignment that had to be accomplished more so than Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is a legacy universe show. It doesn't matter what I do really in the first season because you're going to be here for an extended period of time. I'm not new. I'm just adding on to what you already know. Breaking Bad is new. It has to grab people's attention to justify further episodes in the season, hence pilot episode. Do you think Commissioner Luca, how are you doing today? Commish, you think Regular Show is the best cartoon of all time? I don't want to be, see, normally when I haven't seen something, I don't feel comfortable in speaking upon it. It's not that I have not seen Regular Show episodes. I can probably count on one hand how many Regular Show episodes I've seen. But this is one of those that even though I haven't seen all of it, I can still say no. I just couldn't. Regular Show isn't even in the top 5 for Cartoon Network shows, in my opinion, at least. I'm doing something that I never do. I don't really like doing that. I like to see at least half of something in order to give a full opinion, but just on the, I was like, I can't. Ben Simmons is a lost cause. Ugh, who brought him up? Who's talking about him? Adventure Time and Regular Show are S tier for their own reasons. I'm not gonna argue what tier it's in because I have to see more of it. It wouldn't be fair to the show and to be consistent and be objective. Only having seen like maybe 4 episodes of something to say this is an S tier. So I don't know. I can't give an opinion on whether regular show is S tier or Adventure Time. I've seen more episodes of Adventure Time, but that's probably on 2 hands I could count it. I didn't Both of those shows came on at a time that I wasn't watching Cartoon Network anymore or wasn't interested in it like that because there was this dark, lame period that some of these debuted in, and it's not its fault that it came out during that time. It was just during this time of there was a lot of live action shows on Cartoon Network, and I just wasn't. I was out. They had stuff on there like Destroy, Build, Destroy. This other show, dude, what would happen? I'm looking at this like, where are the cartoons? What is this? And I promptly got the hell up on out of there. Oh, Aqua Teen Hunger Force is hilarious. I love Aqua Teen Hunger Force. My name is Shake Sula, the Mike Ruler, the old schooler. Shake is an asshole. Borderline maniac. Well, no, he is a maniac. Time like he'll do some stuff. I'm like, ugh. I don't like the art style of things like Adventure Time and stuff. That art style is copied too much. It's like this Steven Universe, especially Steven Universe art style has been copied and duplicated so many times. It's like that's just the default art style of all cartoons now. I get irritated whenever I see it. Is there no other way in which we can create something that can look different? Because back then is, but then that kind of like mimics a lot of things now. Because originality, not saying Steven Universe is bad and all that, because that's another show that I've maybe seen 1 episode of Steven Universe, so I don't know if it's a good show or not. But that art style, I don't like seeing the same thing done in access over and over and over in abundancy over and over again. I see cartoons on Disney Channel that have that same art style. Nickelodeon have that same art style. It's like enough. Back in the day, you had to look different. You can't just keep looking like you could go back in the golden years of Cartoon Network. The only 2 shows that kind of look similar to each other, at least in the art style, was Dexter's Laboratory and Powerpuff Girls. You could say. But what they talked about and what they concerned were just so wildly different. Hey, what is good to you too? How are you doing today? Is it Priyan Kapoor? Is it? The art style isn't going to, yeah, I don't care about art style as much as I like the amazing stories and great characters. Yeah, I'm not judging the content of the story because again, I haven't seen those. It's just that art style and people mimicking the same looks. It irritates me. To take anime for example, I have a friend who he was turned off from Code Geass's art style, but then he at by the end of it he said it was one of the best animes he's ever seen. But then it's like the art style can factor into someone's first impressions of something or like affect their enjoyment in a way. Unless the characters make up for it, then it makes them forget the art style is even there. Karan Kapoor, love the vids. Hope your family's doing well. Thank you to you as well. Hope your family is all right and doing well. Still working on things. You watch Overlord, no bum buh. No, I haven't. What is that? I don't think I've heard of that. No, you're right. Almost every animated show in the tens had that Adventure Time Steven Universe type look. Yeah. Yeah, Code Geass. That's one of my favorite. Like I said, thoughts on Bucks versus Knicks yesterday. If you watched, not gonna lie, worst officiated game I've seen in a while. Yeah, I missed that. I didn't. I haven't been watching too many games in the past few days, dealing with my own cranium type problems. So in the meantime, I just been uploading videos on the other channel. Ah, what? Okay, I don't want to accidentally press something. For me, the over sexualized nature of Fairy Tale made it hard for me to finish watching it. Yet that fan service that be servicing so much for certain animes and things, it becomes so much of a distraction sometimes. And some, it's like some shows that's all you have to your name. I think a Sword Art Online had too much of that at one point. There was some stuff there, and I was very much into Sword Art Online in the beginning, and then it became a redundant mess. Fairy Tale is myth. uh, I haven't watched that yet, so I can't give an opinion. I have to dip. Our wife and kids just came home. Committed. Fucking love you, bro. Love the community you've built. Love my bros in the chat. I'm gonna keep eyes peeled. Come back to your live feeds, man. Thank you very much, Velvet. Hope you, the wife and kids, have a great day, a great week, and the remainder of the year. Have you watched A Silent Voice? If you haven't, it's a good movie to watch. A Silent Voice. I don't even think I've heard of that. No, I have not seen that. I think you should look into why Isaiah Stewart wanted to Orlando at the end of the game. Yeah, there was something that was prompted a response of something. I just haven't looked at some of, but and he has a laundry list of things he's done, even if it's for good reasons. It's just some things that I just don't co-sign. I've just been very disconnected from watching some games. Do modern anime even have fan service anymore? Oh yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot. A lot. Are you gonna watch Godzilla Monarch when it comes out? I saw it. It looks kind of. I might. Godzilla King of the Monsters. That's been the best one. What Godzilla uh was it -1? That was also very good. But King of the Monsters, that was an epic experience. Godzilla versus King Kong was as basic as you can get, really, outside of special effects, as they have some really damn good looking special effects, but story wise and all that. Yeah, yeah, it was -1. Yeah, the both of those are great. -1 is getting a sequel. Oh, okay. Oh, it is. All right. Shin Godzilla. That's another one. I don't know if I've seen that one. Probably haven't. All S tier. Yeah. What's your other channel? Uh, go to my main channel head thing, and then you can see it. Is or just type in Dynamo. But I collaborate with myself now. There's a feature on YouTube that allows you to uh well, yeah, collaborate, but you can also collaborate with yourself if you have multiple channels. So just go to my main channel page and just scroll down on the home section, and then you'll see related channels, and then you click on it there, or just type it in Dynamo. But yeah, I'll be doing more movies, show talk, and I've uploaded a good 4 videos or so in the past week and a half there, which is almost as many as I've uploaded in the course of like 2 months. So I'm gonna try to remain consistent there to have at least 3 videos a week there while I do things here too. Ed Salad, thank you for stopping in. Thoughts on the Lions last game? Unacceptable loss. There's issues and concerns that have been steadily getting worse with both Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. Sometimes it's I be feeling like Dan Campbell is kind of the worst of the two because of his insistence on being the most aggressive bull on earth on fourth down scenarios and just going for it when any other coach in the league wouldn't do it. And I guess that's his way of thinking. He's unpredictable, but he's become predictable in his unpredictability. Your favorite Uncle Toga. How about them Pistons? Ha 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 ha. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know we lost in a dumb way. 2 back-to-back losses, even. The 2 games that mattered the most in our schedule so far, in the season so far, and then just lose them. My Eagles are crashing and burning. Well, weren't they going through something last season? They were dealing with some, I think in the first half of last season, they were going through some stuff, weren't they? And then they ended up winning. That Taurus always using Fisher. Yeah, he needs to stop. He needs to give it a rest. It's like he's unable. He refuses. Oh yeah, and the Patriots, I've been seeing them make a comeback. Yeah, I'm a really start getting rageful with the Lions because in the time of us stinking for who knows how long, decades, since I've been born to now, the Lions have always been seen as a joke and trash. And then we have our 2 to 3 best seasons damn near in our franchise history. And in that time when we first started getting good or getting competent, you have the Patriots fall off a cliff. And if the Patriots come back to being the Patriots or somewhat adjacent to the Patriots of old, in the time that we've done a whole lot of nothing except have a blip or 2 years, I'm gonna lose it. That's unacceptable. You had the Patriots and the Packers kind of just careen off, and I'm thinking it's a new age. The future is now, old man. And now look at this. It's like it's a repeat. Things go back to the way they were. I don't need that. Yes, my clips are buns. Harden is carrying them. Yeah, I've been seeing him play good. When I get around to making a video for that, mention the Clippers and maybe 2 other teams. Some of these terminally ill teams. Subcommit. Justin Nerd, how are you doing? It's just thing. Yeah, still tournament still going on. I know we're out of it, then Magic are there, and then some. See how that plays out. They still they need to tweak the tournament some. They just did this. I still like it being here, and the only reason it's here is because of the season quickly not mattering so early in the season as it's been past couple years. But they need to make its importance a little bit more. It's close, but it's not quite. Mish, thoughts on LaBarbie Diddy James and the Lakers? I saw him get 2 fans kicked out, and then he got them kicked out, and he was like doing his nails. He was like doing something, and he didn't have a good half of the game. I think a good game in general is kind of like man. Then in the first half, he wasn't doing too good. But that's just from me seeing some stuff here and there because I didn't watch the game. Though I'm not, I see it as when there's a time to fully criticize LeBron and talk about him and to put him under a microscope, it has to make sense sometimes too, because I see some arguments from people, and this is coming from me and someone that I don't like LeBron, but I see people online saying, "Oh, he's washed and he's this and that." What he's in a lesser role now. That was the whole point. I don't think the Lakers front office and the owners want him to be the main guy. Like that's what Luka's there. Why would he be? Luka's there. And then you got Austin Reeves breaking out. Him being a third option thing isn't that what they've been trying to somewhat do since he came here? That was what Magic was trying to talk to him about, trying to convince him of, even though that ended up not happening. So him being in an auxiliary role, I don't have a problem with it. It's just when he does good and other people don't, then he gets all the credit for everything leading up to it. And it's kind of like a nuanced problem with him. He's a very polarizing player. It's hard to say good things about him while not mentioning bad and then getting called hater if you mention bad. But then if you mention some of the bad that makes sense and it's overwhelmingly bad, then you get given the response, he's 41, he's ancient. What do you expect? But then these same people, when he does good, will say he's one of the best players still in the NBA. It's like you can't keep going back and forth. You can't say one thing and then do the second one when it's at your expense and his expense. You can't get me to like the Lakers no matter what. uh, Mish, what NBA expansion teams would you like to see? Uh, I'd uh I kind of don't really think it needs to be expanded because there's just too many problems that I perceive as problems, some of which are obvious that I'd like to be worked on and addressed. I know the ratings are far and away better than last season, but expand I know they're talking about expansion. They're already thinking about it. I don't really think it's necessary, but it's love to stream commission, but I gotta go. Peace. Thank you very much, Frank, for the donation. Thank you as always for everything you've done and continue to do. Appreciate your time here. Hope you have a great day. John, bro, can we go another 2 months without talking about the Lakers? So that can be arranged very easily. I just have to get angry enough. Irritates the hell out of me how there'll be people who come here when the Lakers or a player on the Lakers does something that's worthy of criticism. There'll be people who come here who only see that video or only see things like they frequent negative topics about the Lakers. So, in their perception, whoever they go to get that information from and see that video, they then see them as a hater or something. It's like, well, I can't help how your algorithm is telling you to watch negative things about stuff that you don't want to hear, but you hear it anyway. I also can't help that whenever you come to this channel, it's something negative about them. But when I say something positive, where are you? Where are you at? How long before Draymond gets suspended again? How he made it this far. I think he got didn't he get a technical in the first game of the season? Like he's been doing that the past 2 or 3 seasons. Get a technical first game. I didn't know that baseball players played 162 games a year. NBA stars could never. While I do agree they could never, it is a completely different sport, different things required. There's times of standing still, and that basketball is more constantly in motion and more is demanded of. It's some differences, and you can look to when Michael Jordan was playing baseball, and then he came back still with a baseball player's body and what's expected of that body and what the sport commands was different. So I don't. There's things to take into account and to have a nuanced conversation and discussion about. Mule is spoiled brat. He gets a slap on the wrist. He always slap on the hoof is what they give him. We don't want to bully Draymond, y'all. Let's just let him keep being an ass. Let him be the most mule version of himself, because anything other than that would be either treating him as an angry black man, as he so eloquently put months ago, or just straight up bullying him. And I'll never forget how that fool said if he was held responsible or if he had to continue getting flack for what he was clearly doing to other players and be punished for it, he would just retire. Can't stand him. What are your expectations for the Pistons in the playoffs? Given how we started, I mean, even after last season, I would say, well, how things are looking in the East, I would say a second round isn't too much to ask for, but I can also see us losing again in the first round, though I'd like to see us in second round. I know some people will see what the East is doing and what the East has going on and say, uh, news about the East or previous woes about the East not faring well this season have been greatly exaggerated. Well, it can still not be very good, but competitive. It just means that the primary people or the focal point players aren't around to take it to the next level. Like you don't need it just because some players are gone doesn't mean the East can also still not be very good or the way one would expect it to be. course, with Halliburton not there, Jason Tatum not there, Embiid barely there, if ever, but yet 76ers still, they got stuff going on there, bubbling. It's still, in comparison to the West, is drastically less. I wonder what Monty Williams is thinking right now. Counting his money is probably so that money counting him at this point. He just enjoying himself. All of that for being bad at your job, really, and not caring. Oh. Mish, have you ever liked the idea? Ow, nose being annoying again. Of the NBA playoffs being top 16 overall, no West East divide. I'd, I'd be open to that. That's another change that I could see in the not too distant future. What you planning for, Kamish? Planning for what? What you planning for Christmas? Uh, whole lot of nothing really. Just get little brother some stuff. Uh, put some decorations and things up because that's been tradition for a long time. Family wise, it's just when it, of course, for obvious reasons, it just doesn't mean the same, and it just doesn't instill the same feeling in me because you lose someone who was integral to that feeling or the foundation of that, then the season itself ceases to hold the same value as it did before. Though in spirit, you go about things that way because I want little brother to enjoy himself, but it's I myself haven't been able to enjoy anything. You should have a live stream during a Pistons game you had during lunch. Yeah, I should. That's still my most successful stream to date. Sorry for your loss. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's snowing right now too. Where they were making a big deal about how much snow there was going to be. Uh, it'd be like 4 inches or something like that. I don't mind. Snow hasn't really. It's just sometimes been an inconvenience and having to shovel multiple times sometime in a day. But for the most part, I've never minded shoveling snow. It's raking leaves that is trash. Raking leaves is garbage, especially when you're like me and have two or three big gargantuan Wembenyama trees, and one of which is especially annoying, just a stubborn mule tree that the leaves just refuse to fall until the last moment. All the other trees in the neighborhood have stopped like they've fully fallen. But this one here has just got to be annoying. So then you got to go and deal with all the like the backyard. Too many leaves. The backyard is actually kind of big, at least just for standard issue living. Too many leaves. There'll be about a foot of leaves. I ain't got time for that. Every single year since we've lived here, annoying as hell. So when are you going to the next concert? You know what I'm talking about. Next concert. What's the next concert? You the foundation now, big bro. You know if you or grandma need anything, you know your community will have your back. Yeah, that's the thing. I uh I meant it when I said it the last video. It's been too many times. If something were to happen again, it's not. It's just. I'd rather not. It'd be I, in a perfect world. Well, in a perfect world, I wouldn't even be in dealing with the situations that I've had to deal with. But in a world where things would work out once you do them, and or maybe even a second time, then wouldn't have to go about some of the same things. But I don't feel it something in me to want to go about that again. It's your favorite girl. Oh, yeah, she got a concert. Hmm. I'll have to see. I would go to and know to get biases and just objectively in female rap, she is the most talented. And her concerts are worth going to more than any other female rapper because she can dance. She doesn't just dance, she can dance. She's a full on dancer. She there's stuff you can look up of her dancing prior to her. So entertainment value, stage presence, all that great, remarkable. I would never go to an Ice Spice concert. I've said that numerous times before. There's a lot of rappers I wouldn't go to a concert for this today. In general, there's some now I can name on one hand how many rappers I would go to a concert for. And even then it's just unless I was in the front row or something close, there's been, at least in my opinion, this it's just rappers don't do the same. You don't get the same out of a concert from a rapper as you would other stars or other like a singers and stuff. So you plan on streaming 2K26 at all, or are you done with 2K? No, I'm done with 2K. I'm not going back to that landfill. When they fundamentally change the game, then I'd consider it. But if it's just gonna continue to be what it is, just a reskin, more sweat, less mechanics, changing the shot meter every single year with stupid ass gambling in there, no thanks. It's not even worth getting. The only way I say I'd get it is if it was free. But even if it was free, the game will be too big because they don't optimize their game properly. They're very annoying. Have another Fortnite stream. Yeah, that would be good. I would invite some people who are watching to play if they want, like I did months and months ago. They're having a new season now. Just when I was kind of thinking about maybe getting the battle pass because they had the Simpson skins and I've always really liked the Simpsons. And then once I'm over here thinking about it, and now you can't get them. I was like, oh well. Me and my brother hasn't gotten one since 2K24. We get a new one because the servers are shutting down. Yeah, that's how they force. everybody to go and get the new thing that they're making, the new garbage. Did you play the Simpsons Fortnite event at all? Yeah, I did. Under 10 games, really. Played with little brother. I tried to play on stream when it first came out, but then it just wasn't ready, or there was maintenance going on. Though I kind of wish maybe I had gotten a battle pass for it, but I really, for if they were, because I really like the Simpsons, but if it was One Piece skins, I would have definitely had just bought it and then forced myself to play. Simpsons things, I would have liked to have had them, but oh well. It's too late now. Yeah, that map was great. That's one of the best maps they've ever had. I would put that in top 3 Fortnite maps. Man, Fat Peter Griffin, I'm farming for a week to unlock them. Yeah, they had Simpson. They had Homer. Oh, they had Simpson. Homer. Homer was basically himself. So I was wondering why couldn't they add Peter? They've had some other skins that was kind of like heavy set. Uh, have you ever been to Simpsons World or land at Universal Studios? No. I've barely gone anywhere life wise and all that. Peter Griffin would take up the whole map. So at moments like this, you begin to realize that NBA Live wasn't so bad after all. See, isn't that, you see how, see what we've been reduced to? You see what NBA Live, it was just so much of a non-decision that people just go to 2K. But I remember back then when you would sometimes have a bit of a issue, you'd have problems choosing between the both of them. And they just fell off a cliff. So then 2K just is the one domineering force basketball wise, and they don't even own the license. But yet it feels like they do. Yeah, I miss NBA Street. Yep. Did you watch Rockets versus Warriors game? Damn. Yeah, I missed that too. Yeah, I haven't been watching too many games in the past few days. I have been indisposed. Yeah, I remember NBA Jam too. There's that new game that they're working on. They showed a little trailer to it. Looks wise, it doesn't look all that, but it's a basketball game. So long as it's fun, that's all I'm really concerned with. I think gamers in general, some years ago, hit that certain plateau where looks of a game cease to matter really too much anymore, at least when it comes to realism. Because I remember in PS3 to, I say, middle of PS4 to Xbox One's life cycle is where I think I felt a shift in people buying video games specifically for graphics and just mainly caring about if is the game fun. Haven't watched, you watching the Pistons game today? Oh yeah, the we play against the Heat right? I think we do. Yeah, I might watch that, or I should watch that even. As you can see, I've just been down in the dumps, so then it affects my abilities to consume a game and then make something that isn't. You don't want it to affect any other video. I don't want it to affect videos that I make, because then stuff will either be forced or it'll be just not good quality or not up to my standards. Art style shouldn't be the main priority. Yeah, yeah. There was a time though, early early systems, or early in that generation of games, that generation of systems, all people could think about and mention were just graphics. Oh, the graphics look so great. Oh, these graphics are amazing. I've never seen graphics like these. That's what they write home about. And the gameplay, they weren't talking enough about that until the game came out and disappointed them. And I think we had so many games that came out during that time on both systems and just in that generation, that it forced people to look themselves in the mirror as games, or as gamers, and say, yeah, I think I actually really care more about how fun a game is rather than looks. I think you're the most eloquent basketball YouTube person thus far. A plethora of words in your vocab. I appreciate the usage of plethora. Yes. I sometimes feel as though I come off a bit ostentatious. I go out of my way to be overly verbose in my vernacular. You ain't wrong, Animal. The beginning of PS4, Xbox One era. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel as though I bloviate too much. I remember that Rise Son of Rome was made to show off graphics. Yeah, there was Killzone Shadowfall too. I felt was showing off graphics. It's just this notification. It's just there to look pretty and to get people to be like, ooh and ah. And then you had a game like Knack. Remember Knack? Then they make Knack 2. I was never interested in that. There was an episode of Malcolm in the Middle where it had Malcolm was talking to two or three different educators of religious beliefs, and that was one of my first things I looked at. That I said that, oh, I kind of like the way they put those words together. And I mean, hip hop and rap was ever present, but then when I saw it there, I was all like, huh. He was like, charity, prosperity, clarity, divine, restitution, absolution, contribution, Palestine, sacramental, accidental, you'll be fine, substantial, alleviate, who knows, align your spine. And I was like, I like that. I like that. I once read the dictionary. I didn't read it in its entirety, but I read most of it. And the only reason I did that was because I had, in my reappreciation for hip hop and rap, and looking through the mythos and the origin stories of different rappers. And then when I was especially into Eminem, still am, though I was 100% slim in my viewpoint of him, he had read the dictionary too. So he was like, if my idol did it, then I must do it as well. Started reading it and then writing things down in school when should have been more important things being done. But and I have all of that stuff still written in the I have folders and folders full of papers that I wrote rhymes and raps and stuff. But most of it I see as immaterial now because a lot of those were just rhyming a bunch of nonsense. Where's the depth and meaning? Where's the soul in there? Do you read novels, Commissioner? I haven't done much reading recently, but I did used to read extensively, different books and all that. The last book I read was from James Baldwin, and then prior to that was either either work by Shakespeare or by Emily Dickinson or something. I can't remember. It's been a little bit of time. It's crazy how much graphics evolve so fast. Uh, 2000s, early 2010s, Arkham Knight was only 6 years from Arkham Asylum and still looks incredible to this day. Yeah, Arkham Knight looks better than some of the games that come out now. Could say that for a good amount of games, like Star Wars Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront looks better than some games that come out now. I couldn't believe how amazing it looked. Those games look like they quite literally just came out or newly released. Greetings from England again. More Draymond videos, please. If my heart can handle it. When he messes up again, I will be there no matter what, especially. But normally in the meantime, I just kind of mention things here and there. I'd rather not be as mule centered. It's a great one. I only have seen the movie, but I want to read it too. Uh, Wuthering Heights. Oh, yeah, I read that before. It's been that was a while. I read Wuthering Heights. I saw. I think I saw the movie first, then read it. That was with a lot of different things. In school, when we had to do an assignment on To Kill a Mockingbird, I was all like, "Watch this." I watched this already, so I was immediately end up acing some of the tests and stuff. I know there's some things that's like the movie, and then there's stuff that's in the book and all that, but most of the important points are just translated onto the test. So I did very little studying for any of that, while everyone else is all asking questions about Atticus Finch and all this. Like I didn't seen all that. I saw Gregory Peck Plam and all that. Like y'all, you aren't on my level. Oh yeah, Curry is out. How long is he out? That was with a good amount of books and things. I had seen the movies, and most of the people was in school. They didn't even know there was a movie to that book, or they were just seeing it. It's a black and white movie. I don't know. It's all like uncultured swine. The lot of you. Commissioner Dynamo is the Cape Crusader of the league. He does what he can, but with high efficiency and effectiveness. Yes, yes. Thank you very much. I try. I certainly try. Ever improving as well. Yeah. Anytime the author as well approves, you're in good hands as well. Like you're doing something right. What was another one seen? Well, yeah, I saw A Raisin in the Sun before I read it. I saw the movie to A Raisin in the Sun with what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? What? Why am I forgetting people's names? Why am I forgetting? It's right there. It's right. Come on. Come on. Come on. Uh, Thank you. Thank you. See, I was trying to think, but I didn't want to look at the chat. So thank you. Silent you, Sidney Poitier. Why am I forgetting? Saw that. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and the other one, the one film with him, he's chained to a prisoner, and that was very divisive for black community because when he had jumped or when he was on the train, it's like, don't go back for that white man. What you going back for? And all that, like that did a lot, pissing off the community with some things. And the heat of night. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Why did not my mind just blanks sometime? It's probably just due to stress and other things. I don't know why. I could forgetting Sidney Poitier's name, have my culture card revoked. Watching Commissioner and seeing there's someone else in the world who randomly goes into a Heath Ledger Joker impression when they have to prove a point. It's made me feel represented. So, oh, thank you. Yes, we do things here. We have to go. We the hijinks and shenanigans. They just insert themselves. They they sort of come out whether we want them to or not. I was just doing that live. Sometimes I do a few different takes because then I'm like, I'm not satisfied with that one. Let me do that over. I just do things. I'm laying back, so now it doesn't sound too good. Why is this light going off? But then as I sit up, I become even more powerful. You heard that he's like a banshee back there. I just can't. Why do you hate Donkey? Why don't I hate him? Why is the sky blue? Why is water required for all living beings? You think bro felt your ore. I gotta I'll be making a video. I have the footage saved from my other channel, from my original channel, when I was talking about Heath Ledger, like the things in there that he was saying and doing. Like, do people not understand that? Just one of the greatest character portrayals in cinema. But what he said to that officer, do you remember how he carried himself and what he was saying in that thing? He is wait, what did he say? The officer in there that's watching him, he's like, how many of your friends have I killed? Oh, you can see that officer. He didn't get paid enough money to deal with that. He's like, you killed 6 of my friends. Like, he mouthed the words like, you want to know why I use a knife? Guns are too quick. You can't feel all the little nuances and emotions in their final moments. And he goes on. He's like, I have to get out of here, so I'm gonna keep pressing the button. And then he's like, in their final moments, people show you who they really are. So in a way,
I know your friends better than you ever did. Want to know which one of them were cowards? Whoa! Oh no! Oh! That guy, he snapped after that. He had to get him. Came out there. He's like, I just want my phone call. ah, man. He had to have known from just the first few scenes. He's like, I'm killing this. I'm killing this role. This movie is nothing without me. I am obliterating this shit. Talking, I'm gonna watch Dark Knight again, and I had other plans. He improvised grabbing the actress's face too. Yeah. He's like, look at me. I absolutely love those types of performances and just timeless things like that. It's a cautionary tale. Yeah, it is. As he had things that he was going through and stuff prior to that, and then that was the tipping point. Though he was one of these actors or entertainers that he very much disdained the life that came along with it. All of the schmoozing and the showing up the red carpets and just uh the look at me type lifestyle. He wasn't in it for that. If he's one of those that if he could just do that specific thing and not do any other things like that, then it's kind of like Kurt Cobain. He was the Kurt Cobain of acting in a way. Hated everything else that came along with it other than the craft and the art itself. Joker takes a toll on the actor. I think there was some other actor who went through that too. Yeah, the role is notorious, infamous for stuff that's like that. Miss, do you pay any attention to NHL? No, I have not. It's been years since, and I've never, even when I was kind of paying attention to it and watching some games, I was never fully into it enough. Just nothing against the sport itself. I just spent a great majority of my life into either basketball primarily and then football and some baseball in between, but mostly just basketball has been ever present. Marlon Brando got disillusioned in his later roles and being not so good. Yeah. His role in Streetcar Named Desire. I've been on to you from the start. Not once did you pull any wool over this boy's eyes. You come around here, put a paper lantern in front of a light bulb, and lo and behold, you're the queen of the Nile. I say, ha ha. Yep. Stella. Yeah. Vivian Lee crushed that role too. One of the things she said, because I have a list of that I one day want to do. I have album names and concepts and templates that I want to do. I wanted to use what she said in there. She's like, I don't want realism. I want magic. He's like, magic, Karl Marx. It's like, yes, magic. You go, who cares about reality? Reality is trash. This server is garbage. Al Pacino, Brando. Ooh, that is difficult. I don't know. I gotta. That is a tough one. I couldn't. That's a choice I don't ever want to have to make. That's extremely difficult. Yeah, from Gone with the Wind. Yeah. She's like, Red, where shall I go? What will I do? Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. He's like, I'm tired of your shit. A couple of years down, love your vids. Also, the Nuggets Spurs game. I knew it would be close, but damn, what a heartbreaker. Nuggets Spurs game. I missed that one too. I didn't get to see that one. But thank you for tuning in and showing up and hanging out here though. I spent some days AWOL and just out of it, so haven't been watching some games past couple days. When are you getting married? To a better question, be like, when are you gonna find someone? When is someone that? So I got too many issues and problems to even be thinking about that. I would just end up badly affecting whoever it is I'm with. So that's the absolute last thing on my mind. Unless it's, of course, Doja, I make an exception. Oh, Greta Garbo. I haven't heard her name said in a while. Yeah. Hollywood royalty. Good game, great shots in the clutch by Maul and Joker, but they couldn't deliver. Oh, they lost. Tough not having Mr. Nugget, aka Aaron Gordon. Oh, he was out. Oh, okay. Oh, that was a great win. What would the fallout be of Thunder having the majority of the picks? They're hoarders already. It's nasty that they get like some first round picks and stuff already. Like, so he's been out now for 2 weeks. Damn. Oh, the Pistons frauds. No. Just didn't perform well in the past 2 days. I mean, not 2 days, past couple days, losing back to back, and then both of these games were very important.
Hi. Your feeble skills are no match for the power of the dark side.
Thanks. Your brother's a Sith Lord. He wishes his midichlorian count is too low to ever think such things. That was funny. Yeah. He was Darth Vader for Halloween. Oh, Darth Plagueis the Wise? He had such a knowledge of the dark side that he could even influence the midichlorians to create life. Was it the dark side? I may have gotten a line wrong or two there. It's Anakin. You see, Anakin is he's so foolish. You do all of that to prevent Padme from dying. Well, you go to the dark side because of Box. Like, just think about that. You go to the dark side because of a Booch. Like, just mainly that. And he's like, oh, I have to prevent her from dying. You technically end up killing her, even though the plot was weak. And they say she simply lost the will to live. Stupid. It's like George Lucas sat in a writing room. It's like, I don't know what she's. Just get rid of her. Like, she forgot. She doesn't know how to live anymore. There. So just put that in there. And now you get chopped in half. You lose multiple limbs and you get burned and you have no Booch. Horrible. Horrible. Baby tear. Baby tear writing. Died of a broken heart. It's terrible. No matter how and as tastic as these new Star Wars movies are, I'm not going to start looking at the prequels more fondly. Those are still bad. They're just not as radioactive as this. I've seen polls across the internet of some people saying, and it'll be hundreds of thousands of people will be voting, and then they'll say, which Star Wars movie is better? And there's people that pick Revenge of the Sith over Empire Strikes Back. I don't care if you were born recently. You're wrong. Your opinion is wrong. Opinions can be wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what people tell you. But it's smart. They try to hide behind. There's people that will hide behind being wrong. It's my opinion. It's like it's your ass too with this fist. This fist is going down your throat and out your scrot for being wrong like that. People be putting others in conversations that they have no business being in. Like they're like you look on, it's like, what are we even talking about? Basketball is one of the worst examples of that, more so than any other sport. If somebody wants to look at, like, if let's say the NBA had been around for well over 100 years, like baseball, and then they want to look back and we have somebody that's like a Babe Ruth who's just considered the greatest, and now you want to start poking some holes into that claim and all that and stuff through either statistics and just looking at how the game has evolved. Oh my God. You can say, okay, yeah, you did, but you're looking at, there'll be people in basketball, they will see things happen. They will go to the game and still say something stupid and still say something wrong. They'll go and see somebody do a reverse layup, or Cade did something like that, like a month ago or two, or something like a month ago. And then every time a player does it, they will take that chance to go and shit on Jordan. They were going so crazy over this. Oh my God. Like that happened every single game. That was rare. And then they'll say Austin Reeves would destroy back then. No, he wouldn't, because he wouldn't know how to do that. I hate these time machine arguments. Don't make sense. It's just, yeah, it's like it's an era to era thing. You, in the same breath that you say this player is doing something better than that player, you have to also take into account that this player only knows how to do those things because that player did it first. Remove that player, this player doesn't just think of that. He grew up watching that predecessor. He saw that person's game and he applied it to himself and became better. After Jordan was doing that reverse layup, or he was dunking in the way he did, do you think people even attempted that? Do you even think they thought it was possible before he did it? No. Or when Allen Iverson, when he crossed Jordan over, and then there's also people that look at that, be like, oh, Jordan, he couldn't even handle Allen Iverson guarding him. It's like, Allen Iverson only knew he could even do that because he had been watching and consuming basketball and seeing these things take place. So you're seeing the streets and the neighborhoods and all that. That's kind of like a raw containment unit where you get to practice stuff in real time. So by the time they're of age and they even get to a collegiate level, they're doing some stuff they've learned and practiced from watching the games plus playing in the street, and then it's evolution. You can't have one without the other. It's just disrespectful constantly to people who played before. Even going back as far as when the NBA was first created, you go in the 50s and stuff. Like you go and see people in the 50s and all that. You see people shooting free throws underhanded, and you see a bunch of unathletic white guys, and ain't nobody doing anything but just one-handed dribbles. Do you think people started playing basketball doing Kyrie Irving dribble moves? That's not how things work. They wouldn't know how to do that. That's with everything in life. Nobody comes out the gate being a hacker or a shaman. You gotta learn and build a portfolio. What's so hard to understand about that? I hate these arguments. I hate them. I wish somebody would start talking to me about the thing. Like, I'd be one to debate, like my newfound power and prowess. I'd be one to debate with those that I see that's just random. If I was still working at the movie theater, I'd be waiting for somebody who claims to watch basketball say something foolish like that to me. I would disintegrate them in front of everybody. And then I'd go and tell someone else, another usher, to sweep that up like it's popcorn. Get them out of here. Put them in the compactor. Pete Maravich walks so Kyrie could fly. It doesn't take anything away from both of them, though. Yeah, it's not. That's all people have to say. But in general, when it comes to a great many things in this world, people don't like nuanced conversation because it requires critical thinking and it requires you thinking farther ahead than 3 seconds. But I don't want to do that. I just want easy got you questions and hot takes. People will make whole channels and followings off of just purely hot takes and nothing else, not considering the other side, not weighing both pros and cons, and trying to really analyze a player or a team or an era. They'll instead just put that previous era down because it's old. Ugh. People still complaining about the three-pointer every now and then, but everyone is evolving. Hawkeye and Bullseye, basically. Yeah. The thing with when it comes to the three-pointer, the only thing I don't like about it is just the insistence upon it from coaches and just the coaching plan and seeing teams bottom out by relying on it too heavily, like we saw with the Celtics these past playoffs, where it just looks stupid. If you can make them and you're making them somewhat consistently, okay, fine. But if you need to get back into a game and that's all you're doing and you've been cold from the three-point line, your whole team is shooting horribly, maybe try something else. Just for a few minutes. Get hot again. See some shots go in. Don't just keep doing that and expect to get back in the game. You'll just make the lead worse. Said hi. What is that? What does it even do? Teams gotta have a backup plan when their shot isn't falling. Yeah, that's all I ask. I use my grandmother as an example. If someone like her who barely watches games and isn't into basketball like that, if she can watch something and ask, why do they keep doing that if it's not working, there is something fundamentally wrong. You don't need to be an expert at knowing the ins and outs of hoops and knowing the intangibles and the X's and O's to see something look stupid. If your average person can look at an NBA game and see a team proceed to shoot 15 threes in a row and none of them go in, and that's all they do, they will start to question the product that they watch and say, does that make sense? Is there nothing else they can do? Like, why don't they try getting closer? Kareem was even saying why his skyhook and all that was such a high percentage shot, because he was like, you get closer to the basket, hence easier shot. Grandma picking it up as well. Yeah, she got back into it when I started the channel, she started paying attention to some more games and stuff just because, and recording some things that she feel that, oh, there was this and that, but since there's internet and all that is faster than any source of media that people of a certain age bracket consume. So even though she'll record some things sometime, but I already know I watched it. I saw it already. Like that's too slow relying on that. Sometimes you have to be the first or within the hour try to have something out, but then at the same time do the subject justice and talk about it. If it's a controversy too, if it's something in the court or just on a team or just within the sport itself, then you say, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting that out somewhat quick. But if it's an off the court issue, sometimes it's better to wait until that is fully fleshed out. Because like with the Chauncey Billups gambling thing and all that video, in my opinion, was better because I waited instead of doing it when it first broke, because there was more information that came out. Though at the same time, YouTube doesn't reward one for doing their due diligence. You kind of want to be the first 10. You got to get it out as quick as possible. It's like, I have to get, YouTube won't shop my video. It'll go and say, your video is this, that, and the other. Like the YouTube algorithm just with stuff where it's, Wemby with a skyhook is an extinction level of it. That's a good, yeah, that's a problem. That's scary to even say that sentence. You have a beer, bro? I don't drink or smoke. I tried 2 drinks in my entire life. Both were nasty. Never again. But then again, I don't know. I probably tried the wrong one, but I don't care. That doesn't interest me. I'm fine with orange juice and lemonade and that type of stuff and water and just drinking that. It's the same way that I feel about drinking and smoking is somewhat of the same way I feel about sports betting and gambling. It's really not so much of a religious aspect exactly. It's just I myself am not interested in either of those things, and none of those. They just don't move me. I never once looked at any of those 3 things and thought, I want to learn more. I want to try it myself. No, I was offered to smoke once. No, wait. 3 different times. But the very first time I was offered, that was in high school. Junior year, I felt like one of those above the influence commercials. I said, nah. And it was from a girl who I didn't even know she was on that. I was like, what the hell happened to you? What the her whole aesthetic and stuff and her look and stuff changed. I was like, oh, you're like that now? What the hell? What type of summer did you have? She was skipping school and everything. I didn't even know how to skip school. I was like, wait, do you have to like sneak out of a door and you have to do Mission Impossible type stuff and all that? She was like just laughing. She's like, no, you just walk out the front door. I was like, walk out the front door? You can do that? You just walked out the front door. And I was all like, and then they just let us walk out. You couldn't do that now because now they got doors be locking and they got metal detectors and stuff. So what do you think the Pistons record is going to be all-star break? Well, I think we're on track to probably have the best record we've had since maybe 2019 or better than that, really, because we were a 6th seed last season. So it's hard for me to think of it off the top. Somewhere I think in mid 50 wins, something like that. 54 plus wins. Or I may like by the end of the season anyway. I mean, not but I already in the 90s promoting don't do drugs in the current NBA. Yeah, but this gambling. I can't stand this gambling. Winning championship, Detroit Pistons. Damn, it's almost 3 a.m. Thanks, Commish. All the best, everyone. I'll see you later. Is it Bucksby? Hope you have a great rest of your night or a good sleep, too. Oh, Commissioner Luca, great question. Thoughts on Rush Hour 4 development? That's probably the best decision Trump has done his entire presidency so far, or at least like in this term, the Rush Hour 4. Out of nowhere. How random is that? There's Rush Hour 4. If it isn't as racist as it's been in the previous 3, I don't want it. If they go try to clean it up and they go try to just whatever, I don't want that. I don't want a washed version, a sweet and low version of Rush Hour. The cultural differences are what made that duo and those movies work great. If you can't do the comedy the same way or somewhat similar, you can still tell those jokes and not go all the way like you did before. But even now with people, it's such a strange time that we're in now. As sensitive and PC as things can be, the opposite is also true now. It can be just extremely, I don't care, I say whatever the hell I want to say. It's like you've got two different things existing simultaneously. Very weird, very strange. If you were president and had the clout, what project would you get made? I'd be when WB saying make a Batfleck movie would be great if you want your tax write-off this year. Well, one of the first things I would want a Sammy Davis Jr. movie to be made. Some people may not know who that is, but that was one of the greatest entertainers to ever walk the face of the earth, like a easily top 3. I'd chill out heavily on sequels, reboots, prequels, and remakes. Try to make original works. It's hard to think about some other ones because there's so many different things to choose from. You've been to a Detroit Pistons game? Fans are crazy. I have not. I don't think I may have been to one basketball game my entire life. And I say that with a very big if and a may. I do know that when I was little, I was at the Detroit Pistons championship celebration thing after we had won in 2004. I can't even remember it. But in terms of game, I don't think I've ever attended a game, which is a shame because I've been to several baseball games, and I've been to 2 different football games, but never a basketball game. Hopefully, maybe I can do it this season. Some tickets are real cheap when we're facing someone who isn't too good. I saw some tickets for we were facing, or it says where we're supposed to face the Hornets. To get some decent seats, you can get yourself and 2 others for about $100 or a little bit more than $100. 3 seats somewhat in the middle of the arena, if not a little bit closer, for Charlotte Hornets or some team that's somewhere like Wizards, I would imagine it would be even better tickets. But then I'm thinking that, well, since it's Detroit Pistons, I know we're doing better. The tickets, the prices aren't going to vary that drastically. I expect them to go up when we play somebody that's of higher prominence, but not too much. I look at when we supposed to play the Lakers, them tickets went up to damn $800. I was like, my God. Ticket was like, just to sit in the custodial lounge was like $200. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. You hear him in there. He's saying what to something else, but he may as well be saying what to this. And imagine, ooh, that's a different level of anger. If I were to go to a game and there are players load managing, especially if I were to like go to a Lakers game and I go to a Lakers game and LeBron is load manager and I see him on the sideline just sitting there or somewhere, I see someone on the side, they may have to suspend me from any and all future NBA events. They put me on the list as that guy that threw that cup at Meta World Peace, Meta World Slaughter. I'd be on the same list as him. It's like, you ain't gonna have me pay an entire mortgage just to come here, just to see players sit down. Hell no. What's wrong with him? He stubbed his toe? Oh, he's got some soreness. Sore don't mean broken. Sore don't mean hurt. It don't work no more. Sore, get your ass up and play. Talking about sore. I be having sore feet, sore brain. It was still working. I was working at that theater. My feet were bleeding some shifts. My feet were sore, but I was still there. You can't stand your ass on court and pretend to shoot? Weak ass. It's unbelievable. Some of these play, like, I get some of the schedule is difficult. I get the pace of play is changed, but yeah, they be like Charles Barkley. I'll be babying some of these players. You can't even come out there and stand. You can't pretend to shoot. I can't give you a controller and you can't play 2K. You can't do that. What? What? Just come in and then the stairs. Is it like, hello? Ooh, are you gonna talk? I don't even. Oh, wait. I don't know how to snap. I did it for a second. I can't do this consistently. I can't whistle either. But I have to blow in. I don't know how to. There's some people that do that, and then I don't know how the hell it be doing. Or that I don't know how they do that. That's like exclusively a skill set available to a gym coach. Nobody else. I've only ever seen gym coaches do that. Watched the video of the Kings fan that had it out with Levine. And yeah, he was saying something. We don't got to do all that. We don't have to do all that. Though, if it was for a play, like a lot of these players, a lot of them, they will posture and think they go say this and do whatever. When in actuality, like, people need to really be serious about what this isn't like back in the day. If you go to an NBA game and you hate a certain player and you get their attention and they come over there, this isn't Ron Artest. If this was Ron Artest, it's like he will do something to you. He doesn't care. Bill Laimbeer or any of them back then, they will do something to you. These players now, I don't care how tough they look and they're not going to do something like that because they know they would get kicked. Like, it's stupid. That would be foolish on their part. You just assault a fan, that would make the news. Nobody's stupid. They're not going to do that. They'll posture and probably get up in your face, but that would be somewhat close to career suicide, if not a hefty amount of fines, followed by a Twitter apology and community service. They don't feel like dealing with none of that, so they go avoid that at all costs. So a player says something, say that to my face. He's still not gonna do anything. What is he gonna deck you right then and there? He would look bad. You wouldn't be responsible for anything because you just say words. So words means you hit me, and it's not even anything personal. It's just because you're angry. Oh, Ralphie McDingus. My girlfriend overheard your Epstein Files redacted short you made and started cracking up. You're hilarious. So thank you. Thank you both for watching. Tell her I'm glad she enjoyed. I'm glad you both got a kick out of that. People who are in here, go and watch that. My most recent YouTube short that I did. I can make a short every single day for the rest of the year, but I refrain from doing so because I feel like either the platform is against me or it just doesn't notify some people. So then I was like, I'm do all this what for people to not see them? Is anybody else's stream glitching out a bit? It happened to me like twice earlier, but it didn't. It says you are now live, and I said I know that, but and then it paused or something. Oh, caught you. What's up? Oh, MDDK. How are you doing? Stream is always. Oh, I forgot to say goodbye to Floating Kites. He said, gotta head out. Good stream as usual. Until next time. Damn it. Goodbye to you if you're still here. But now working till your feet bleed. That's the American dream, right? And I enjoyed that job. I very much enjoyed that job. But I had to quit because the pain was just too much. Too much pain, and that's the primary reason. It became just something that it was intolerable. And I quickly learned at least 2 years ago when shorts were new. Yeah, back then I noticed like 2-3 years ago when you would do a short, almost like every third short you would do would perform pretty well because it was still new. Now you'd be lucky if something. I remember there were a couple I did that they randomly shot up by the second hour or two. Well, a couple thousand watched it on my original channel that wasn't being done properly by me. The most viewed YouTube anything I did was on my original channel. That was like, I think currently it's at 700 some thousand. It was a Kendrick Lamar short where I was acting like a starved fan waiting on his album to come out. That short existed a year or two previous and it just never did anything. I re-uploaded it like 3-4 times. It never did anything. And then the 5th time I re-uploaded and it just does that. All these people watch. I was all like, I have so many that I can do and they don't get traction like that. But I know if a bigger content creator were to do the exact same skit verbatim, that skit would go viral. And it's like irritating, very irritating. And then the biggest internet thing I've ever done, period, was unfortunately on TikTok, where that had 900 some thousand views, and it was the most basic garbage thing ever. It was zero effort, zero brain power in the making that. It took me all of 5 minutes to do it, and I didn't do anything. All I did was take a video that showed this girl bending down and picking up this baby, and then it cuts to another guy that says, what color was the baby's shirt? And then it just cuts to me, and then I say, what baby? That whole thing was 10 seconds. That got 900 some thousand views. I said, are you serious? People were following and all that. Oh, this is so fast. I was like, garbage. I'm probably the only person or one of the few people that something can do really well and I'll still be angry. I'll still be mad. Especially what it is, whatever it happens to be. It's not like this. I go on IG, I see the dumbest stuff get traction. It's like maybe sometimes there's a genius in simplicity, but then maybe there's also a genius in stupidity. Because I see some people do some of the most low IQ things and then they get over and then they'll just do it over and over. But then you're over here with your overly critical, smart thinking, dumb self. I go and play a character. I master the impersonation. I get makeup. I get a mustache. I get costume. I go and play different characters. All for what? For YouTube to say, people aren't watching this video as much as your other videos, or people don't care about this. Meanwhile, that person that goes and does 6, 7 gets like 2 million views. Trash. I gotta bounce, Kamisha. Like and comment anytime you drop. Thank you, Echo Dimension. Enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate you for being here. In all seriousness, bro, you're fine. I hope you're doing well with your family. I hope people find more challenge. Your takes are valid and do take care. Thank you as well. Ocho Cinco is back. I'm late saying bye to some people. Thank you very much for stopping by. Be careful though. Commission's Mr. Steal Your Girl. That's funny. In a certain multiverse, a different universe, probably. Not in this one. Oh, this is the Dynamo channel, not the other one. What do you mean? My anime, movie, and show channel is called just Dynamo. My original channel is called Christian Dynamo. It was my real name, Christian. That channel is beyond dead. That channel is bones in the desert. Tumbleweed. That's the internet for you, brother. It's so ridiculous. Yeah, I don't like it. I guess I'm more of a traditionalist type of entertainer, but I've had to learn and adapt to how the internet works with some things, which stuff that I look at that I did years ago and then I look at now is all like, yeah, that's maybe that's fine for outside of internet related stuff, but then it's not good for just internet. Because a lot of times here, like with the newer short I did, you got to get to the point. You can't do too much setup. Making long form content is one thing, but if it's a short, especially when I'm putting some of these on TikTok, you got to be immediate. But that was when Vine got popular. Because that is impressive. I find it impressive that people were able to do Vine and tell an entire story in just 15 seconds or less. That is talent, though. But I don't like the bite-sized nature of comedy just being that. I don't like bite-sized entertainment in general like that, because then I think it just invites a mind to become accustomed to that and nothing else. So when you get a bunch of people consuming that's all they prefer to consume. So then looking at something that's even 5 to 8 minutes, they're like, oh, I can't handle us. That I don't like that. Hello, Kamish. Go. How do you feel about back-to-back losses for your team? Also, Clippers lost an 18-point lead to jawless Grizzlies. Ha. Uh, uh, yeah, the back-to-back losses are very disappointing. I would have very much had liked us to win either of the two games, preferably the uh I mean, no, we should have won both. Both of these were winnable games. Both of them were close. I'm not gonna try to draw straws and try to get benefit of the doubt here. These were both winnable games. There's no excuse to have lost them. And now being bounced out the tournament, I don't like how that happened. The worst time to lose back to back as well. But we do have injury issues and all that that's been going on, so it's part of the problem. Ouch. Foot is bothering me. Didn't know you had a TikTok account. Yeah, I made a community post about it. If you scroll down a little bit, you can see it. But yeah, it's no different. It's just I put shorts on there. I'll start to experiment with some shorts, and there will be shorts that are only going to be there just because I want to test the TikTok way of making humor and do some stuff to see if it's more successful there. But most of it will just be uploading shorts that I normally make here. But there will be exclusive ones that are only there and won't be here. Thoughts on Jaden Ivey so far this season? Well, he only played just that thing. He just looks rusty. He was shooting abysmal from 3-point range. That one game against the Celtics. Rust, lack of play time and all that has stuff to do with it. So I'll just wait, and jury is still out on that. Who's winning the cup? I mean, with the Raptors, the way they playing, you think they might win it. I don't know. Still don't have ever made a TikTok, and I never will at this point. I'm very much with you. The only reason I did it is just because through or due to the advisement of friends and this channel, when you want to be successful or you're gonna have to branch out some and have different annals of access to certain things. So it's like, yeah, you want to expand and do all that. I do not care for it. I do not like it. If I had it my way, I wouldn't do it, period. I even have on my TikTok, when you look it up, because it's just the commish dude. If you look it up on TikTok, it says I hate TikTok. I don't like being here. I hate that. I hate Twitter. I don't care for IG. I would not have social media, period, if it wasn't for this channel. It's just a means to an end. If I was an influencer, I would have one. I hate that name. Like, I hate that word. You know, when I had to go in numerous times, either filling things out and stuff, because I had to get reevaluated for doctors related stuff, and I had to get this and that. Like even when it came to just what was that? For getting certain medical benefits because of frequent hospital visits and all that, and then I got put into a program so where it's like, oh, you're eligible to be covered by this, that, so you don't have to pay out of pocket. So I said, okay, cool. But then you had to fill certain things out. Even when it came to paying for our vehicle and doing all that. It says, "What is your job occupation?" I was like, I mean, I was working at the bank at that time when I had filled those papers out and done that. I was working at the bank a few weeks prior to it, but then it was like, well, I'm not working at the bank right now. So what do I say? And then they're like, so what do you currently do? It's like, well, currently, can I just put bank? I was working at the bank, and can I just put movie theater? I went back to the movie theater for a little bit. It's like, no, it has to be what you're currently doing. It's like, well, I mean, I don't just I make videos. So it's like, oh, you're an influencer. It's like, ugh. And they said, well, that's all. That's is there another classification you put there? They're like, no, we just influencer. I'm like, no, fine. Where's the Piston fan club? With it's good to see there's other content creators that are Pistons fans themselves, and we need more. If it makes you feel any better, you do influence people into having better days. Well, it certainly does. I appreciate you very much so for saying that, Commissioner Luca. That is one of the things that compels me to continue and do stuff even when I'm feeling down and feeling especially miserable like I was today, day before, and day before that. Mm. I often sometimes underestimate just the power of the internet or the scope of it. 'Cause there'll be people who tune in from different countries on earth. I'm thinking, wow, like Owen Wilson. Wow. Someone from completely different side of the planet is watching. Huh. It's just can't it's hard to really even fathom that sometimes. But then you think of people who would entertain and that back in the day being 50, 60 years ago, it'd just be people, unless those same people on the other side of the globe had access to a television, there'd be no way for them to ever see something. That's why when TV came, it was just so revolutionary because you got to see so many different things you would have never came across because you're either state or country bound and you don't really leave and can't leave or probably can't afford it. And you get to see what other parts of the world looks like. Thank you. Thank you very much, Frank. Thank all of you very much. I don't care for tech because I have a very big pet peeve when it comes to technology. When stuff breaks, stuff doesn't work properly, I get mad immediately. And it's not even an exaggeration or something that I just play up to say that I genuinely become enraged. And I sometimes have to be like, all right, okay, calm down with there's if any of you have ever seen the Michael Fassbender portray Steve Jobs in the movie Steve Jobs. Not the one that was Ashton Kutcher playing Steve Jobs. He didn't do terrible. It's just the writing was bad. And he looked like Steve Jobs. So I understand why they picked him, but it's just bad screenplay, bad script, and all that. But Michael Fassbender, he killed that role of Steve Jobs. The opening scene was them displaying the Macintosh to the world. And then it just stops. And then he's like, well, why isn't it what this is before they open to the public so people can see that they can see the display of the Macintosh for the first time globally. And he said, it worked yesterday. It worked 2 hours ago. Why isn't it working? He's like, I don't know. it's some sort of error, some sort of woo. I can't stand that. I can't deal with that. You want a break now for no reason, unexplained, just out of the blue for no reason. It just doesn't work. Error. It says a problem has occurred. What's the problem? Oops. Oops. I wanted to go to Jane Finch at night when I was at, but I got scared. Would you? The good, no way. I wanted to go to Jane and Finch. Jane and Finch, who's that? One of the best. No gambling ass, great humor and writing in your vids. Keep going, bro. Thank you very much, Julian. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Great writing. I don't even write any of this. Occasionally I do write. Out of however many hundreds of videos I've done, I'd say there's maybe 5% of them that I actually write down. Most of it, I just talk like I do. Whenever I'm making a video, I get my phone like I get right now, and then I just talk into it. I was like, oh my God, Draymond did it again. I can't stand him. I hate him. I loathe him. He needs to get out of the league. I need him to be hung up by his hooves. I just say it right there and then I record it. If I mess up, then I just redo it. That's it. Writing, it not only does it take long due to other factors getting in my way and me constantly getting interrupted. I was like, I don't have time to write. This is just quicker, easier. Unless it's either sometimes a skit or sometimes a rap. Either of those things, sometimes for either of them. A dinosaur when it comes to technology. Yeah, I don't. When I was in computer class, I didn't like it. And I was not good with it. Never good at it. That's why I didn't play Civilization for as long as I did, because it was on PC. I was like, I don't feel like being bothered with no PC. I just stick to console. You get the thing at the store, you bring it home, plug it up, you set it up, and that's it. They're just settings. Why it tells you what to do and building a piece. I don't have time to put together a Transformer and a Terminator. I don't have time for that. You got to get this to go with this GRX Super Soaker 8000 with extended grip. I don't get no. Just put it all in one box and combine it, and then I buy it. That's it. I'm not dealing with none of that. Bro, it's to build Optimus Prime to place. Computer class. Brush brain waves. When you write it down, it ruins your creative process. Well, you start to think too much. What this last video, the sequel rant to the first one, that was easily the hardest video I've ever had to do. It's not that I couldn't get to a point where I say, oh, this is better, because I was like, there's room to go with that. When approaching a sequel or something, there has to be a stairway that you can see. If there's no stairway visible, then it's just not worth doing, because then it'll become redundant. With the WNBA video, there's no stairway there. At least not right now. There would have to be new information, or have to be several different incidences to justify making a new one, but then it wouldn't hit the same way as that one, because that was in a certain place, certain time where stuff made sense. And to replicate that would be like trying to replicate an aroma that you smelled when you were X years old or something. It's just not worth doing. There's no stairway with that video. The NBA one, it's like, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, there was a stairway at the end of when I made it. It's like, oh, I forgot some things. I could have put them in here, but this here, it was just because the length, the amount of things requiring assembling footage and then getting it past YouTube's copyright. And then thinking of new things. And then you're like, well, these new things are somewhat better than the other things. I don't like this. Then it got deleted on accident. I accidentally deleted it. Then the second time I didn't accidentally delete it. I just didn't like it anymore. And I woke up and deleted it because I was like, this isn't good. I don't like this. I saved a few things, then brought them over here. Then I had to go through the copyright. It's just horrible. I lost a few years of my life in that video. And then after I uploaded it, 30 minutes after I uploaded it, not even 30, I say like 10 minutes or 15 minutes afterward, I threw up. It's probably just the stress of just having to do that, then hoping that it didn't get messed up or something. Would you agree that Peyton Watson is a current Amen Thompson? I've heard good things about Peyton. I just haven't seen him in action enough. I need to pay closer attention. You getting a Steam console when it drops? It's a PC and a console. I got one foot out the door when it comes to gaming. I'm not really. Most of all my energies and hobbies and downtime are focused and funneled into this, if not just thinking to myself. Because I think about this so much and making stuff and doing it a certain way that I'm doing while I'm eating, I'm thinking about what I want to do next. While I'm sleeping, when I can't even sleep properly, I'm thinking about this. Thinking about how to improve on this, thinking about how to maintain this, and then hit a certain milestone. It's just everything involves and orbits this. I play Civilization 7 to calm down sometimes and to just focus. And it's relaxing to play it. Though it's not where it needs to be still. But it is marketably a better game than it was at launch. At launch, it's not in a proper state. So a Steam machine, it's not. If I were to get some, it would just not be utilized as much. Just like getting a Switch 2 or anything. And I'm not playing a lot of games too often now. There have been so many times, like you can even see that from past streams I've done. If any of you have seen past streams, I do more talking like I do now, and I barely even play because I just lose so much interest, or I'm just not focused on playing anything. Even when I'm making a video, I'll finish the video, but I turn the system on, and then I'll say, yeah, I'm going to play something. Oh, I finished the video now. I filled everything out. It passed copyright. Now I get to relax. And then I just sit there for 15, 20 minutes. And I'm like, do I want to play? No, I don't want to play. Let me turn this off. To your vids for teams, I watched 30% of them got copyrighted to the point I think I'd rather try doing a few reaction vids for team. Yeah, I'd rather do an extra hour of work getting clips for the vid than get copyright. But yeah, and even then you could still get copyrighted for seconds of footage. And even worse, you can get a half monetization because you either said something that was deemed inappropriate, you showed something that was seen as contentious or volatile, but it won't tell you what it is. That's one of the worst ones to get, if not getting fully demonetized and blocked or copyright, because it's too vague. It's so opaque. They won't tell you what it is. They won't tell you where it is. They just say this whole video is this can't be monetized at all. You said something bad or did something bad. What it is, I don't know, but it's in here. You're like, I don't know what it is. So then you spend another hour looking for it and re-uploading it over and over again just to be told no over and over again. I've had some videos that I had on private or unlisted for weeks. And then I say, oh, let me now do this video. The exact same video, or let me just upload it. Let me just duplicate it. It'll copyright that, but not the original. It's like, what? The Stadia is obsolete. Oh. I remember commercials where they'd be like Stadia or something, but this is why you see so many content creators, to whom I'm sure some of you are subscribed. They keep mentioning other platforms. Like one of my favorite content creators on here is FD Signifier. He makes stuff and I couldn't even imagine, because that 34 minute video I did, that's the longest video I've ever done on YouTube or on just content creation, period. This man puts together whole movies, which is something that I would very much love to do, but not under YouTube's rules. And having to deal with that and having a problem. So now I have to sift through 2 to 3 hours of footage. Oh no. Oh my. Oh. I could not. I died just at the thought of dealing with that. And that's just YouTube that does it. That's why you see him and others mention other places to consume content, being Nebula and all that. Where I say, yeah, that's somebody. He's the only creator, I think, outside of one other one that I can't remember. He was a One Piece creator, but I can't remember. Was it? I think it could have been. It was a super chat or something that I sent, either Morge or something. I think it was Morge. But he's the only creator I actually said, yeah, I went to Nebula to go and see one of his videos. I was like, yeah, this is worth it, because I need to see the original vision. I don't want to see it hampered by YouTube's bots. And then they have manual reviews, and then the manual review. I don't even think the manual review is watching that whole video. There's no way they're watching 2 to 3 hours or something. They'll probably sift through it for 15 minutes and say, yes, no, I don't know. I'm not looking at all that. There's no way they're doing that. People used to make 10-minute vids for more ads. Nah, yeah, I don't believe that and do that. There have been plenty of videos I've done that it'll be just, a lot of times now, I think maybe just because it's muscle memory or it's just subconscious, I'll have a certain amount of information, certain amount of footage, certain amount of points, and then it culminates in the 8 minutes or a little bit past that. Then I say, oh, okay. But yeah, that's better for ad revenue. But if I've said everything I feel as though I want to say or need to say, I'm not going to stretch that inorganically to 8 minutes, because it just won't. It's just not. To me, it's like creatively, I'm against it. If it makes sense, like let's say the only time I'll consider it is if I stop a video in its entirety, and then let's say it's 7 minutes 30 seconds or 7 minutes 40 seconds. I say, okay, maybe let me try to find somebody. I need to find some new information. I'm not just gonna talk or yap for that 30 seconds just to get it over that finish line of 8 minutes. And the 10-minute one, especially, like the only one is something extensively. I haven't made too many 10-minute videos recently. Most of them recently have been like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Don't get discouraged. What you are doing, 2 strings, is impressive. See, Frank, you help me. You and others, you help me stay guided. Makes me appreciate smaller things, and then even more so big things. Though it's hard to smelling flowers, period, is hard to do when your nose is stuffed up constantly. Yeah, you can't speak your mind like that. They do not like you saying that. But then I've seen some people do it and then they get pushed. Like I saw some guy's video a few days ago where he titled it, "If you see this, the YouTube algorithm is bullshit." His video gets pushed. And then he goes and tells you why it's bullshit in the video. He said he didn't put tags. He didn't put a description. He didn't do a thumbnail. He didn't do any of the things Mr. Beast and all of them tell you to do. And his video gets, in a few days, 300 something thousand. Oh, you tried that too? See, it's not, it's a slot machine. YouTube is just a very big slot machine. And I hate gambling. So no wonder I despise it. It's random. It's just it's a mixture of it's like it mimics, it's sort of an automaton of what life is like. Because in life, everything is do it, don't or hello, okay, don't bother me again, don't interrupt me. Life is an accumulated set of circumstances that are random, but then that's how life works. So you're like, okay, fine. If it's an algorithm and it's something designed by humans and it's something that's supposed to resemble some form of logic and computation, I don't like what you created to be random. I'd like it to be sedentary in some form of anything that makes sense, that's not throwing stuff at the wall. The fact that human beings got together and made something random when life itself, so we need something, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be something that if you learn it, you can replicate it. And if you replicate it, you can be consistent with it and you can grow. You can't learn or replicate any of this. You can just put yourself into better positions to get that 3 slots going your way. But in general, it's random. The best month I've ever had on this channel, views wise and subscribers wise, is still the first 2 months I started the channel. I've yet to do as good as that ever. And it makes no sense. Across the board, everything has improved. Delivery has improved. Editing has improved. Points and getting to them quicker has improved. Thumbnails have improved. Description has improved. Tags has improved. Titles have improved. Impressions have improved. Nonsense and shenanigans have improved. Everything across the board, 100% approval. Yet, or 100% approval. Improve across the board, no difference. It's just random. So they just created and designed something to be random instead of work in a way to which you can understand it. I made a video about Zion when he got suspended last season. I made it an hour and a half to 2 hours after that story broke. There were other creators that talked about that and got it up sooner than me. Some of whom that I saw at the top of the search listing had better editing. They just had stuff that was more pleasant for the YouTube platform in general. I got that, like an hour and a half to 2 hours after. That video got 200,000 views. Why? I don't know. Do you know how to replicate that? I don't know what to replicate. You don't do this for anything else. And that was such a random, in my opinion, low effort video. That video was like 5 minutes. That video took me all of 20 minutes to do. And it does that. The videos that I put that are tirelessly staying up all night, doing multiple all-nighters and just to do. It's like, no, this video didn't perform very well. It didn't perform well because you didn't want it to perform well. You did this to me on purpose. But let's go and try tomorrow and do the same thing again and again and again and again. Oh, this one, it kind of, oh, how do I do that again? Okay, I don't know how. That's why you need TikTok and bring them here, unfortunately. And the people on TikTok, it's like they're under evolved. It's like they're life forms that are still in the Precambrian era. They don't yet walk on land over there. One YouTube subscriber, in my opinion, is worth 10 to 15 TikTok followers. They're just krill. They stay on that app 24/7. That's all they know. They just instant dopamine, instant gratification, nothing like. I don't think any of them even stay on YouTube like that. It's like, this is your home here. Bite-sized pieces. You eat like Reese's Pieces all day. That's all you eat. You haven't had a vegetable in 2 years. That's who those people are. TikTok, you can't even look up an individual video on there. It's just, look at the next one. Look at that. I open the app and it's showing me shit. I don't want to see this. Can I have a choice in what it is that I see? Oh, it's Love 8055. How are you doing? What was your best video views? It wasn't even on this channel. It was on my original channel. It's still up. It's Kendrick Lamar fan type video thing. I'm just making jokes about how his fandom is starving, and I'm a fan, and then I have a country accent. And I'm saying, here in the city of Duckworth, everything we got here runs on Kendrick. Our water runs on Kendrick. Our electricity runs on Kendrick. And I play a Kendrick song. It's like, I need some water on there. And that had like, I think that's at like 700,000 views. But that video was re-uploaded 4 times and it didn't do anything the first 3 times. Which just shows me that a lot of the stuff that I do without any real ego involved, I was like, a lot of these things here, if given the right time and place, and if the algorithm treated me with some sort of respect, this would do far better. But most of the time they don't. It's just completely random. I'm going to talk so much shite if I ever were to get in a position of massive success. I will not sugarcoat it at all. I'm not going to be on the mountaintop and then say, oh, it was such a learning experience. It was so great. There were so many things. No, this journey was ass. This journey was trash. It'd be like, what can you tell aspiring creators? Or I'd be like, oh, you got to stay consistent. You got to work hard. Whatever you put into it, YouTube gives it back to you. No. This place is rigged. It doesn't matter how smart and talented you are. You will not succeed here. It's luck. It's completely luck. I don't even know how I got here. I don't know what I'm doing here. I can have a wife over there, a supermodel wife. I don't know why she loves me. I don't even think she knows my name. With this money, did I rob a bank? I don't know. I really don't know how I even got here. Why am I talking to you? So I'd be just blatantly honest with it. I say, like, for others, it may be easier. Some of you are watching, you'd be like, it could be good, but there's people, I've seen their stories on Reddit, I've seen other creators. Everyone's journey is different. There will be some that upload a few videos and they blow up just from those few videos. But then that sometimes isn't always good, because then success comes too quickly. Then you got those that spend years toiling away at the bottom of the algorithm until something works. And next thing you know, they'll be like, oh, Mr. Beast himself, he did spend years being somewhat unsuccessful, and then things worked. And now you have most of the creators that you get shoved down your throat on the home page or on the trending page, just Mr. Beast clones and thumbnails. I hate that thumbnail layout. That thumbnail layout is so annoying. It's like his face, and then it'll be something that where is it? Let me get this. Let me look at this. Like a water bottle, and then it'll be like his face, and it'll be like the but it's like his face takes up the thing, and then it's I hate that layout. I hate that layout. It's too many of them. They all do, and all their videos are exactly the same. The first 10 to 15 seconds, overloads of edits. It'll be just someone summing up everything. Okay, yeah, I get it, what you're saying. Like, it makes sense to get to the point quicker, to say what it is you're doing here, but it's for people who can't bother to walk in one direction for longer than 2 steps without getting bored. They have to do something else. Just goldfish content. That's what that is. You make content for goldfish and krill. That's all that is. This is a Mr. Beast video. This is he and every other creator's like him video. Wait. I gotta think real quick. I trapped 1,000 people in the circle, and when they get out of the circle, they win $1 million. That's a Mr. Beast video. That all that right there. That all of that that's going on. It's like hurts my head. It hurts. They spend bullshit. If you ever see ESPN, Stephen A. Doing those other, yeah. Oh, hello, Stephen Jabs. How are you this night? Thank you, Who Day Nation, for watching that playlist about that apocalyptic affair. I can't operate like that. That's too much. But then you've got somebody like for every Mr. Beast-esque type creator, there's a ton of them. It's like 30 and 40 or 50, but for 50 of them, you've got one that's kind of like a moist critical, where he doesn't have a thumbnail or anything, and he's just talking. He's like, today I've gotten this thing here, and then I've got here, now my cheeks are as ripe as rain. Like, you just got him saying that. And it works for him, but he's an anomaly. You get a few creators that are anomalies, as you don't get, that's not the norm at all. Does your anime get more views than this one? Well, no, by default it's not, just because there's more people here. So it's if it feels like it gets pushed a little bit more, but I don't know. The recent past 2 videos I did one on One Punch Man. It got pushed to where it's at like 16,000 for that channel that just passed 5,000. It's that's really good for that channel. And then I did a video on Moana that got like 10, some over 10,000 or something. Really good for that channel. So I feel like it's getting pushed more, but it's not technically going to get more views in general compared to here, because you've got people rewatching things, you've got some stuff here and there. So oh my God, I hear the arguing and all that down there. I think that will be enough for today. I may return tomorrow and stream again. There's arguing and all types of stuff that's going on that I will now deal with. Gotta fix some things and address some things. So I may have a video tomorrow and all that. Thank you all for tuning in, bearing witness to my random rage and yelling at clouds in the sky. So appreciate you all as always, and I hope you and yours and everyone you know is doing well. Friends and family are safe past holiday season and then going into month of Christmas. So yeah, I may stream tomorrow. I might. Thank you all again. I will see y'all maybe later. See, once I'm about to leave, now more people come in here. What is that? What is that? I just said I was about to leave. Now I just shot up 15 people. What is that? So I can't even leave without getting angry. It just went up again. What is that? What are you doing? What it's like does this happen on purpose, or is this by design? So you stay? No, I can't, because if I say I'm staying, then it'll go down again. And I was going down for reasons that had nothing to do with that going down in the first place. But now it's like, well, I feel kind of bad if people joined and then I'm leaving. This platform, man, this platform irritates me. No, I need to, you need to see what I need. I need a bowl of grapes, and then an hour later, probably a little bowl of Captain Crunch. I don't normally like eating cereal at night, but this situation calls for it. So no, I'm gonna leave anyway, but I may return tomorrow. Bye-bye for realsies this time. Bye-bye. Thank you all for tuning in. Bye-bye.